I honestly think that this is the most frustrated fan base in the country. Let me know if you agree with me inside the comment box. Alabama just defeated Arkansas 24-21. After the game, it felt like a loss. People were upset. People were pissed off. Coach Saban said after the game, Alabama didn't finish. Jalen Milroe said after the game, we're happy, but we're not satisfied. The team hasn't played 4 quarters of football. In fact, they only played 1 quarter of football against Arkansas. That's when they scored 21 points, or they were up on Arkansas rather, 21-6 at the break. Arkansas comes back and outscores Alabama 15-3 in the second half. Yes, it's a Sam Pittman coach team. Arkansas is tough and all that stuff. But Alabama hasn't put together an entire game this season. Maybe you could say against Mississippi State, but Coach Saban had to get after his team. So when you look to the next upcoming games, Tennessee, LSU, by the way, each of those teams beat Alabama last year. This is the gauntlet. We're in the middle of it. Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, and LSU. That's the gauntlet of this season. If Alabama wants to beat Tennessee, they have to play 4 quarters of football. Can they do that? Can they challenge themselves to play at that level for 60 minutes of football? LSU is going to be very challenging. They have a great quarterback, probably one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. Good thing that you have 2 weeks to prepare for LSU. And then you take on Kentucky in Lexington. You have Chattanooga, and then you have Auburn. And everybody knows that that game against Auburn is going to be challenging no matter the circumstance. Hugh Freeze has beaten Nick Saban head-to-head before. He did it twice when he was at Ole Miss. Fans have a right to be frustrated. Fans are used to Alabama playing at such a high standard. 4 quarters of football on each side of the football. Last night during my call-in show, someone said that Alabama's defense could be playing in the playoffs while the offense could be playing in the Citrus Bowl. We're seeing 2 different teams this year, one on defense, one on offense. The good thing is, and I know that you're having a hard time seeing this, but Alabama has won 5 games in a row. Alabama is 4-0 in SEC play. Alabama still controls their own destiny in the SEC West. Alabama is 6-1 on the season. I don't necessarily know if the win against Arkansas was a huge leap forward, but it was a step forward to winning the SEC West. The coaches poll moved Alabama inside the top 10, but the AP poll still has Alabama at 11. And after speaking with a lot of the callers last night on my call-in show, I get that. North Carolina beat up on Miami. In Oregon's loss to Washington, it's not that bad. That Washington team is very good. And Dan Lanning has Oregon playing at a very high level. The truth of the matter is, the rankings don't matter as of today. The first college football playoff rankings drop on October 31st, which, by the way, is Coach Saban's birthday. He'll be 72 on that day. What Alabama has to do this week is prepare for a very good Tennessee, a different Tennessee from a year ago. Alex Golesh is now the head football coach at South Florida. Alabama already saw him. Jalen Hyatt is no longer on the roster. Thank goodness for Alabama's secondary, because last year that was tough to watch. 5 touchdowns from one player. Never seen anything like that. This is a different team, and they are still capable to win the regular season games on their schedule. If they do that, and Georgia is also undefeated, and those 2 teams meet in the SEC, that is Alabama's opportunity to silence critics, to silence doubters, to show everybody that this is still the Alabama team that you're used to. And maybe it took them a while to formulate that team, but there's still an opportunity for them to do that. And if they are able to get to the championship game, and now we're talking rat poison, and if they're able to beat an undefeated Georgia at that time, then people will give them the recognition. It's okay for Alabama to be lying in the weeds. Are they a top 10 team? It's debatable. Probably not, right? I had them at, I think, number 9. But, I mean, you look to the overall season, how many quarters of football have they played? I know Georgia, they didn't play their best game against Auburn, but they were able to win their way back into that game. Teams like Georgia, teams like Michigan, teams like Ohio State, Florida State, Penn State, Oklahoma, those teams have put together more quarters of football than Alabama has 100%. The good thing for Alabama as well is that if you're going to lose in the college football season, lose early, because you have time to continue to win to bolster up your resume before the real season starts, which is the end of October into November, because everybody remembers those losses. Alabama just needs to focus on Tennessee. They don't need to focus on LSU or look down the road at Auburn, or even start thinking about what would be if they get into the SEC championship. That's our job, right? That's what we do. I personally believe in this team. I think they are making strides to move forward. It wasn't the best game against Arkansas. I get that. I understand. I mean, Jalen Milroe, 7 of 10 in the first half, and then what was he, 2 of 10 or whatever in the second half? That's inconsistent. The defense, they didn't finish out. It's a good Arkansas team, but you got to finish out regardless of who the opposition is. Alabama didn't do that. There's another opportunity against Tennessee. And if Alabama is able to win their 6th consecutive game and become 5-0 in SEC play, that's another step forward. Survive in advance, whatever it's going to be, Alabama has to continue to win. We all know that. The fans have a right to be frustrated. It's frustrating to watch a team that you love not put together 4 quarters, because the standards here are ultimately high. I mean, Coach Saban just won his 200th career game here at the University of Alabama. Just an incredible accomplishment, but it was overshadowed because of the 3-point victory against Arkansas. My name is Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe button. If you want to become a fan funder of this YouTube channel, we really appreciate it. There's different levels. You can hit the join button on this video, at the bottom of this video, or at the homepage of this video to become a fan funder. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. Do you still believe that this team can win its remaining games on the schedule to get to the SEC championship? Games against Tennessee, LSU are going to be ultra challenging. In fact, Alabama opened up as an 8.5 favorite against Tennessee. That seems like a large margin considering that these games have been tight. A 6-point win on the road against College Station and a 3-point win here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The good news is that Tennessee and LSU are here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. You need to see a rush of emotion, a rush of energy from the crowd. And Saban has mentioned that in his last 2 press conferences after each of the games, saying that the energy level for the fans, it definitely does transpire onto the players. Thanks again for supporting the channel. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube.